What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. Donald Trump is mad. He's fed up, rightfully so. I've said it every time. Anytime we talk about Trump, he's got every right to be upset with Canada. Canada just keeps slapping him in the face over and over and over again, and he's supposed to just sit there and be nice about it? I don't think so. As a Canadian, I can say that I stand on the side of President Donald Trump, and I sure hope that he puts Mark Carney and his cronies through the ringer. Now, as we get on to today's story, not only am I going to show why Donald Trump's upset, but even further as to why he shouldn't want to work with Canada, and in fact, maybe focus his eyes over here on Alberta. Maybe we just vote our way out of here and do a little business with the United States. Let's take a look here at what's happening. Not only is Canada trying to seize our firearms, seize our rights, censor us down, spend our money, print money, make our money invaluable, but they've also given the finger to Trump by using Ronald Reagan ads to slap back at tariffs without his permission. They've pulled U.S. products off of shelves. They've said that we're going to continue attack ads. We're going to keep pushing back. But hey, let's negotiate, though. Let's talk about USMCA. Let's talk about let's talk about the tariffs. Let's talk about a deal here, Donald, while we give you the finger. Well, Donald Trump's had enough. This post coming out, Trump publicly threatens Canada. We have all the cards, every single one. We don't want to do anything bad, but economically, we have such power over Canada, I'd rather not use it. It's not going to work out well for Canada. He's absolutely correct. In fact, I've been using that statement about the cards since Justin Trudeau skipped his way down to Mar-a-Lago, where Trump actually forced him to stay in a budget hotel. I thought that was brilliant. But Donald Trump sat with Justin Trudeau before the federal election was called and said, listen, Justin, if we cut off our funding to Canada, what does that mean for your country? If we stop buying your cars, if we stop giving you all the money we give you every year? And Justin said the country would fold. So if you're going to negotiate with somebody, usually you don't tell them that the product you're selling is worthless. Justin sat in there and said, well, we're in trouble. Without your help, we're in trouble. Trump knows at that point, as a businessman and as an intellectual genius, that he's holding all the cards. Why am I helping you when there's no benefit for me? The status quo has changed. They also go in and send their delegates down. They try to negotiate deals. They try to tell Donald how everything's wonderful and sunshine and happy rainbows. And Donald says, nah, I'm not going to buy it. I don't like it. Get him out of here. Sorry, I won't do the Trump anymore. Join me Friday nights if you want to see that. But what happens is that Mark Carney goes down there. He says, I'm going to strike a deal with Donald. I'm going to make fun of him and talk about how terrible he is to Canadians while I try to win my seat as prime minister. Then I'm going to go down there and beg him for a deal. It's been 7 months. He can't even get a deal. In fact, Donald Trump made fun of his trans kid to his face, and he did nothing but kiss his ass. This is how you know Donald's statement that they have all the cards is very accurate. And I've said a million times over, I hope he comes back with 100% tariffs. I hope he makes life so difficult for Mark Carney, he loses his spot in the government. Take a listen to what Trump says verbatim.
Specifically, why are you deciding to end trade talks with Canada, and what rate are you looking to set?
So Canada put a charge on some of our companies, and Canada's been a very difficult country to deal with over the years. You know, we hear Canada, we have a great relationship with the people of Canada, but it's been very difficult, and they put a charge, and they were a little bit early, we found out about it. So, and we have all the cards, we have every single one. We don't want to do anything bad, but they have, economically, we have such power over Canada. I'd rather not use it, but they did something with our tech companies today trying to copy Europe. You know, they copied Europe. It's not going to work out well for Europe either, and it's not going to work out well for Canada. They were
So he's absolutely correct. It's not going to work out well for any of them. Take a look at why it's not working out well. Now, if you don't follow Canadian politics, if you're one of my many American viewers, welcome to the channel. Here's the three-ring circus that's Canada. Currently, the government is trying to bring in digital ID. How are they going to do that? Well, the same way the UK did. In fact, Mark Carney has a wonderful extended relationship with the UK as he bankrupted the Bank of England before coming to Canada. But now they want to bring in censorship laws. They want to censor the internet first. You do the same route as the UK. You censor the internet, you take away people's free speech, and then you bring in digital ID and blame it on the immigration that you've allowed to pour into the country. The censorship bills would stop channels like this from existing. It would stop anybody from having a voice in this country. How dare you criticize the government, after all? But they've said that if that bill goes through, one of the provisions of that bill, the deal, is that if you break the law, if you naysay to the government, if you cross the line, they can deny you telecommunications services, meaning they can strip you of your cell phone, they can tell you you're blacklisted from getting internet. And you know, companies like Elon with Starlink have said, well, we could come in and offer Starlink. That's on a satellite. That's not offered by a Canadian company. But what you're seeing now is their reasons to start that process of filtering out guys like Elon. The CBC, or the Clown Broadcasting Corporation, or the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation, if you're watching from America, just received millions and millions of dollars from the Carney government to be their propaganda arm. They do every single year. That the CBC is now reporting that a chatbot in her Tesla asked a 12-year-old for graphic photos, we'll say. Mark Nixon goes on to say either this is the biggest AI scandal in history or it's the perfect excuse to ban X and blame Elon. Now, I can't play the clip because the CBC loves to claim copyright on any time we try to expose them for being the propaganda arm of the government. But we all know Jagmeet Singh, failed dictator, lost his seat in the federal election with the NDP party in Canada because he wanted to ban Elon Musk because he was simply aligned with Donald Trump. He said, we need to ban X. We need to ban that platform. It's a free speech platform. Get rid of it. We got to get it out of here. Doug Ford, who famously poured out Crown Royal for moving to the United States, who's called out Donald Trump on many occasions, and who started the Ronald Reagan attack ads, canceled Starlink contracts. He actually shut down existing contracts at the expense of the taxpayer to send a message to Elon, Canada's not for sale. Give me a break. Why would Donald Trump want to negotiate with Mark Carney under these circumstances? If you think that's even worse, poised virtue signaler Anita Anand says Canada, who's also Mark Carney's cohort, says Canadians should expect more Chinese tourists to come here to build our economy and grow our communities. Is this the liberal plan? Sabotage our relationship with the U.S. and get into bed with China? How are Canadians okay with this? It's insane. It is insane. What you have to understand, and I know a lot of my American viewers get mad. They say, Canadians are lost. They're so stupid they voted for this. No, we didn't. Our elections are not like the American elections with the Electoral College. What happens in Canada is the seats are chosen in the House of Commons based on a per capita rating of region. 50% of the country lives in a small pocket around Toronto, southern Ontario, and places like Montreal into Quebec. Those votes determine a majority or minority government. They basically decide who's the Prime Minister of Canada. The rest of the country essentially just votes in who sits in the chairs and represents the parties on each side. So Canadians, for the most part, did not ask for this. They didn't ask for it in the election. A very small portion of the country asked for this. Those people should suffer. Those idiots. They're all people like Anita Anand, these woke virtue signalers that say, Donald Trump's bad. They got TDS like nobody's business. Listen to what she says here.
The work that we've been doing to recalibrate The Canada-China relationship has been ongoing for some weeks. I obviously was building on the Prime Minister's conversation in New York. So there has been work over the last number of months and weeks to recalibrate the relationship, and that work is ongoing.
For Canadians, why this matters, though, it might not be a term they recognize, approved destination status, but like in the very near future even, like what are the stakes? What's the dollar value, the potential of this for the economy?
This means that more and more numbers of tourists from China will be here in our country and building the domestic economy across provinces and towns and cities in this amazing, beautiful country of ours. And so,
yeah, this amazing, beautiful country that you guys have run into the ground. I don't want China here. Most common sense thinking Canadians don't want China here. We don't want their police stations. We don't want them setting up shop here. We don't want them coming to Canada to infuse our economy. We want America. We want Americans. We want a working relationship with the United States, our greatest trading partner in the world. It just saddens me to no end that our government disrespects America so much when the people love their country. Donald Trump has said it many times. He loves the people of Canada. He loves how beautiful Canada is. But he hates the representation that we have. And I am on board 110% with that statement. The people of Canada, for the most part, aside from those areas I told you about that vote in favor of the Prime Minister, they love America. They love Americans. We want a working trading deal with America. We don't want China. We don't want UK 2.0. I mean, why on earth, when you hear these kind of claims from its functioning government, would Donald Trump want to make a deal with them? Of course, that's the plan, folks. It's all part of managed decline. They ruin the country enough. They take all the money, they give it to themselves, and they leave, and we're stuck holding the bag. Why else did Mark Carney move Brookfield to the United States? Like, that has to ring some red flags for people. I don't know what else will. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Do you think Donald Trump is justified to shut down all future trade talks with Canada? Do you think that we should have hope that at some point a deal might be reached when he comes back to the table? Or is independence for Alberta or other provinces the best option at this point, do you feel, to get away from this mess? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. If you love America, folks, if you love the American people, subscribe to the channel. I hope the videos earned your subscription. Join me live Wednesdays and Fridays for Unhinged Fringe on Wednesdays, Friday Night Fringe on Fridays, as I sit with my new co-host, Matt, on Wednesdays, the beautiful Mrs. Fringe on Fridays, as we talk about everything that happened this week in politics, everything we know coming up in the weeks ahead, as well as some lighthearted laughs and jokes and humor within those live streams to kind of take the edge off a little from the sting of what's running our country. I always look forward to hearing what you guys have to say outside of making these videos. I most importantly look forward to chatting with you this week, starting at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, here on the channel. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.